Clarity this morning around what caused that fire that destroyed at least 14 minibus taxis in Nyanga in Cape Town on Sunday night. But there are fears that this could be around internal tensions within the Cape Amalgamated Taxi Association. You know, of course, how violent conflicts within taxi associations can get. The provincial chair of the South African National Taxi Council in the Western Cape is Mandla Hermanus. Mandla, good morning to you and thank you for your time. It seems incredibly unlikely that this fire was caused by some kind of accident. The police are still investigating. How worried are you that this is the result of some kind of internal tension in your industry?
Thank you, Stephen. We are very worried, and we also, our investigation so far, it shows that clearly this is not an electrical fault in a taxi that could have spread to other taxis and causing the fire. This is an intentional arson. This was an arson attack on those minibus taxis because they were not all in one spot at the taxi rank. The taxis that were burned, 20 of them. So, and we believe that is because these taxis belong to one particular association which operates the route between Nyanga and Cape Town. That association is affiliated to CATA, but CATA is a mother body. The association is called Seawater. We believe this is as a result of infighting within that association, which is something that has been happening for the last 2 years.
So when we have infighting like this and violence like this and the destruction of property, what do you believe should be done to stop it? I mean, what should the police be doing right now?
Look, the police must do their work and arrest the perpetrators. The police station is a mere 200 meters from the taxi rank. And yet we have had incidents of shootings where it takes about 30 minutes for police to arrive, whereas they are just 2 minutes away from the rank. So we are saying if there's police visibility, but most importantly, thorough investigations, interview the members of the primary association concerned and try and get to the perpetrators, whilst we as SANTACO are also engaging that primary association and the regional executive of CATA to get to the underlying causes of the tensions. And we believe the tensions are linked to the management of that primary association, where there are various groups who want to be in control and of the monies that are generated by the association in particular. And also we believe there's a role for the MEC and the provincial government, even national government, to play as it relates to how do we regulate the control of the funds of the association so that there are proper management systems so that members don't feel that they can take monies that belong to the association and use them for their own end and then fight with everyone who's trying to prevent that from happening.
Okay, I mean, are you able to play a role here too, to mediate between these two groups? And I know internal taxi association politics is very messy. You don't always know who supports who or what people really want, or they usually really want money. I mean, is there any option for mediation between these groups?
Absolutely. That's what we are doing. We've met with the regional structure yesterday, and the regional structure, which is the mother body, is currently meeting at 10 o'clock today with the executive of the primary association to try and find a way to bring whoever is feuding there to the table. But it's not an easy process because currently that association is gripped with fear. I mean, it's paralyzed. So people are reluctant to say anything. But we believe the members of the association, they actually know what is happening there. So if we can create a platform where they are able to express themselves without fear, then we will be able to get to the bottom of this.
One of the reasons that this kind of thing happens in your industry, Mandla, and I mean, you don't need me to tell you about what happens in your industry, you know it better than I do, but it seems that because the industry is run through associations and not run by companies, and that's one of the reasons we have this violence, and it happens time and time again. We saw recently Gauteng had a commission of inquiry into taxi violence there. And the recommendations always come out as the same thing from government, that the taxi industry should be formalised. Instead of an association chair, you would have a CEO. I mean, do you accept that that would solve this kind of problem over the longer term?
It would go a long way, and we started the process in the Western Cape. For example, the provincial structure has a business arm that has directors and shareholders, and also the 8 regions in the Western Cape, they have regional companies that are managed professionally, and their board of directors, their shareholders. So what we're aiming to do is to cascade that down to the primary association, so that you have a primary association functioning as a registered company with board of directors where there is corporate governance and proper financial management. And we believe that will eliminate a lot of the challenges that we are facing as the taxi industry. Okay. And we believe that's the way to go.
I mean, obviously, people have been talking about this for at least 10 years. I mean, surely we can speed this process up, both from yourselves and from government.
Absolutely. That's why I was saying in the Western Cape, we are halfway there. At provincial level, we have formalized. At regional level, we have formalized. And now it's a matter of taking that to the association level. And if we commit to it together with government, we believe it can be done in the shortest possible time. I mean, it does not need to take 2 or 3 more years of talking about it and not doing anything.
There are various things that need to happen now. There needs to be proper investigations. You want the Western Cape province, their provincial authorities, the national authorities to be involved in this. But the great risk is that nothing happens for a while, it calms down, and then suddenly one morning we wake up and there's been another act of violence. Maybe people have been shot at or shot. Maybe more taxis have been set alight. I mean, I don't know what it's going to take to stop this particular fighting that we're seeing in this area at the moment. But I just get a sense that, unfortunately, this is now very likely to happen again soon.
You see, always the one thing that would assist us is if there's effective law enforcement and there are arrests and there are consequences when people do these kind of things. That could be a deterrent. But government must work with us. There is no other way of going about this. We have to ensure that we engage the primary associations, and also what we have proposed also to the Western Cape government is the creation of a structure, a group of people who are based at this primary association. So we are able to intervene and have eyes and ears so that where there's a possibility for conflict, we are able to intervene before it gets to a stage where there's fighting and burning of taxes and things like the ones we've seen in the last 2 months, actually.
Mandla Hermanus, good to talk to you. Thank you very much indeed for your view. The provincial chair of the South African National Taxi Council in the Western Cape.